Hello everybody, welcome to Nana's Journey. I'm Deanna and today we are doing the last block of the dishcloth quilt. The pattern is from the book, somewhat in the middle, so I can't give out the cut sizes because it's not my pattern. It's by Susan Smith. This is the quilt that we are making, and next time we will be doing the borders. We'll see, we've got to make some. I've never done this kind of border before, so I'll see how that turns out. And then we just need to put it together and quilt it. This is the block we are doing. We've got a sawtooth star, some half square triangles, and an applique. The sawtooth star, I'm going to do the fast flying geese method. I've got my big square with my 4 little squares. The sizes depends on what size square you're making, and you can find those charts on Pinterest. The corner squares and the center square. And then this set is going to make 2 half square triangles. I just took my half inch ruler, and I drew on each side with a friction pin, and that comes off with heat from the iron. I'll sew along those lines. I'll cut it apart, and then I will have 2 half square triangles. And I need 6, so I've got 3 sets. The applique, again, this is supposed to be embroidery, but as you know by now, I don't do embroidery. So I found this to applique on. I put some heat and bond light on the back of the fabric that I wanted to cut out, and then I ironed the bumpy side of the heat and bond light to the back side of the fabric. Then I cut it out, and then what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to peel this off, and then I will applique it, or iron it on, and then we'll applique it. And the applique is what we will do first. And then we will do the star, then the triangles, and then we just have to put all these pieces together. We'll do that's a row, that's a row. This will be 1 unit. We'll put this unit together, and then we will put these 2 together and attach it to these. So let's get started. Okay, I've got my monofilament thread in the top. I've got my zigzag at 1.8 width and 0.8 length, and I need my knee press to lift my presser foot. I've got some tearaway stabilizer, and that helps keep your applique from puckering. And we can just get started. Okay, now I just need to tear off the back of the stabilizer, and then we can get to work on the other units as soon as I change my presser foot and thread. So I'll be right back. Okay, for the fast flying geese method, you're going to take 4 of your smaller squares that have marked the same way you mark the half square triangles, and you're going to put them in the corner and sew along the lines. Okay, I'm going to cut down here and then press these open. Okay, you end up with these squared heart shapes, and you're going to take the other square and put it in the other corner and sew. Okay, I cut and separated the flying geese and pressed them, and so now we need to trim them. And I use the wing clipper by Debbie Tucker, and there is a link for that in the description. I am not sponsored or affiliated by anybody. I just like her tools. Put the guidelines in on those seams and trim. Turn it around. Then match up these ones and the X. And there I've got my flying geese with my 1/4 inch seam. Now let me get the rest of those trimmed and I will be right back. Okay, we've got our corners and our star center and our sides, and we're going to put 2 of the sides on, the opposite sides of the center square. That didn't get cut. Make sure when you sew, if you sew with this side up, you go just a thread or 2 on this side of the X of the seams. Okay, now we want to add corners to each of ends of these. Okay, I pressed the top and bottom towards the cornerstones, and these ones are pressed to the inside, so that when we flip this over, we can nest. And there is our sawtooth star. Now we'll work on our half square triangles. Okay, so let me get these separated. I'll cut down here, press them open, trim them, and I'll be right back. Okay, I have them pressed and trimmed. Now I just have to put them in pairs and then sew the pairs together. Okay, now we've got the pairs together and we'll just sew them into a row. Okay, there's this row. Now we can start putting things together. So this and this go right next to each other. And then this one goes right here. So there's that unit. This is shorter than this, so I'm going to make a coping strip and put it right there. Okay, I've just cut a strip. I'm just going to sew it on, sew the two halves together, and then I'll just trim off the extra. Okay, I'm going to take this off and put it on this side, because this side meets the border and that's the same. And I don't want the border to look like it goes like this. Okay, there's the block all finished. Now I just need to put the D blocks together and then attach them to the other blocks, and we will have the top done, but without the borders. So I'll be right back. Okay, here's the top, almost finished. We've got all the blocks done, and our next video will be the borders. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you next time.